Welcome to Python program. Program number 1, using loop. The problem is we have to develop a program to input lower bound, that is lower number, upper bound, and a choice from user. We have to print sum of odd numbers if user enters choice as 1, and if the choice is 2, we have to print sum of even numbers. Stop. Don't just look into the solution. Try to solve this problem by yourself. Let one solution come from your side. After that, you can compare your program with my program. Most of the time, your solution can be better than me because you have developed that program by yourself, and different people can have different logic, so it is not that only one program is correct. But what happens when you see one program without trying to solve that problem by yourself, then you don't have any alternate way of doing the same thing. Okay, so take your time. You can stop the video here and you can return once you have completed your program. Okay, I hope now you have completed your program. Let us see what my solution is. So the first line is lower is equal to int input enter lower bound. So this message will appear and user will enter a value, and that number will be converted into integer because by default input takes every value as a string. So string has to be converted into integer. That will be stored into lower. Second statement, upper is equal to int input enter upper bound, and then we are asking user to input choice. User will get a proper message, enter 1 for sum of odd or 2 for sum of even. And this choice is also in the form of number, that is 1 or 2. I have taken two variables, even and odd, to store the sum of even numbers in even variable, to store the sum of odd numbers in odd variable, and their initial value has been assigned as 0. Now I am running a loop from lower to upper, and remember in range function the second value is ignored, it is not included. Okay, so if you want to include the second value also, then you have to write second plus 1 or upper plus 1. So for I in range lower comma upper plus 1. So this is going to run a loop from first number to second number. That means I will be having a variable, I will be having a value from lower and all the values up to upper. Then here we are checking, inside the loop we are checking that if I modulus 2 double equal to 0, that when we divide I by 2 we are getting remainder 0 or not. And see here, since we are writing this if inside for, this if block is inside for, so we have to right shift towards it right side. We have to make a tab and we have to align it towards the right side. So this is called indentation. So any block which has to come inside another statement, so it should be right side towards the top statements. So this is how indentation we have to do. Otherwise Python will get confused that this block does not belongs inside for statement. So if I modulus 2 double equal to 0, then I am adding the value of I to even variable. Otherwise I am adding the value of I to odd variable. So this is happening inside the loop. Once whole loop completes, then it will come out, and then you can see outside the loop again if statement has been written, and if and the line and the margin or the border of if is same as for, that means it is in outer level. So if choice is equal to 1, so actually if user has entered choice as 1, so we have to print this message sum of odd number is odd, otherwise we will print sum of even number is even. So I am using different variables, odd and even. So if odd is to be printed, I am printing the value of odd. If even sum is to be printed, I am printing the variable even. So enter lower bound, so this is the message you will get. So it will ask enter lower bound, so I have entered 5, enter upper bound, I have entered 10, and then it is asking for choice, I have entered 1, sum of odd number is 21, this is output I am getting. And why I am getting 21? Because 5 plus 7 plus 9 is equal to 21. Now you may ask that if we don't have to print both even sum and odd sum, why are we calculating both and taking one extra variable for storing the sum? So this depends that we can have any alternate ways also. So I have again used an alternate way for the same program, and this is, you can say, much more better style of programming where I'm going to use less number of variables. So now I have taken one variable to store both the sum. For I in range lower comma upper plus 1, and here I'm checking if choice is equal to 1 and also the number which it is generating is odd number. So if user is asking for odd value and the number is also odd, so I am adding that I to sum. The next statement is if choice is double equal to 2 and I equals to double equal to 0, that if user wants the sum of even number and my value is also even number, so this value should be added to the sum. So sum will either have the total sum of odd numbers or it will have the total sum of even numbers. But when we come out of the loop, so we have to print a proper message that whether I'm going to print sum of odd number or even number. For that I have again taken I've again compared choice variables value. So if choice variables value is equal to 1, so I'm printing sum of odd number is sum, otherwise sum of even number is sum. Now there can be many other ways too. So you can try other ways also. If you have made some program which is different from this, you can share it in the comment box, or you can just suggest what we can make changes here to make it better. So I will try to make that program in the next video. Now this is the assignment for you. In the same program, add code to also print the values which are being added. So till now we were directly printing the sum of odd. So you can try this one, that the odd values should also be displayed, that 5, 7, 9, and then you can write sum of odd is 21. So that's all for today. Thank you.